And good morning, Yankees universe. KOD Nation, stand up. This is another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew on this fine Monday, June 6th, 11:01 p.m. a.m. How is everybody doing? Everybody on IG Live, I see you. Appreciate you. Click that link in the bio and just jump on over. But what is up, everybody? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome. We had an awesome weekend. Of course, the Yankees keep on winning. Got to keep it going. 6 in a row. Cosmic Jerry, how you doing? Jigga Man Porto, how you doing? Salute, 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 everybody. Man, the Detroit Tigers came in, and the New York Yankees just kept that winning train going. We had a few distractions here or there. I'm not going to lie. The Yankees optioned down my guy, Miguel Andujar. We optioned down Miguel Andujar. You know, requested a trade. Sorry, just different things popping up on my phone screen at once. Sorry. Yeah, Miguel Andujar requested a trade from the New York Yankees. And I'm going to need everybody, you degenerates, to wake up and get your coffee. Forgot the catchphrase for a second. That's how excited I was because I missed you guys. Normally, we do this Monday through Friday. This Saturday, we'll be having a special episode. We'll have my guy, BX Sports Jedi, tune in. And then I have my guy, BX Bomber, tune in. Because we got to keep it a Bronx thing. We got to keep it a Bronx thing. But Miguel Andujar requested a trade request. This came from Hector Gomez. If you guys don't know who Hector Gomez is basically the Tom Verducci, but for the Latinx players. When it comes to Latin players wanting to get their feelings out, wanting to get any information out there, Hector Gomez normally is the source to go for this information. Over the weekend also, you had something pop up out of Tampa. Not going to be surprised, though, because it is the state of Florida. But you had 5 Tampa Bay Devil Ray players refuse to wear a certain uniform over the weekend. Not going to call it out, but it's trash. It's trash. Those players are just, it is what it is. But over the weekend, Yankees kept it going. The pitching kept it going. If you look at this pitching staff and, the aforementioned Tom Verducci, they spoke on it yesterday. And after the game, it's not anymore a mystery. But when it comes to this Yankee pitching staff is the best pitching staff in all of baseball. It hands down. If you was to take Jordan Montgomery and put Jordan Montgomery on the Minnesota Twins, he would be their ace. If you was to take Jordan Montgomery and put him on the Anaheim Angels, he would be their ace. The same thing with Luis Severino, the same thing with Jameson Taillon, the same thing with Garrett Cole, and the same thing with nasty Nestor Cortez. Now, last year, towards the end of the season, Nestor Cortez, he wore down. He got a little weak, a little tired. He wasn't used to that stretch of always pitching every 5 days, being a starting pitcher in the majors. So at the end of the year, you ask yourself, was it that he tired out, or did the league figure him out? And with the way that he's pitching right now this season, it doesn't seem like the league figured him out. A lot of this credit and a lot of this kudos, it goes to the pitching coach, Matt Blake. Matt Blake gets 100%, this credit when it comes to how these pitchers are pitching this year. Also, as well, a few years ago, Brian Cashman and the Yankees, just as a whole, when it comes to organization, they decided they needed to switch up their training, when it comes to the training staff, their training mantra, how they handle training, how they keep players healthy, how they take care of players. And it started about 2, maybe 3 seasons ago, and you're seeing the benefits of it this year. Yes, we had a few injuries when it comes to Chapman, when it comes to Loizica, when it comes to Chad Green. We just got back Giancarlo Stanton over the weekend. We just got back Josh Donaldson, who had the sack fly yesterday, who won the game for us. So we get it. A little here, a little there, but in the overall aspect of it, and an overall view of it, this Yankees team has been healthy. Kudos goes to the training staff. Kudos and flowers goes to Matt Blake and also Aaron Boone. You know, Aaron Boone may occasionally have you scratching your head, you know, with certain moves that he do, but then you got to understand, hey, it's 162 games, and not every trick you play is going to win you the game, you know. But when it comes to the team and when it comes to this weekend, there's a few things I want to highlight. First and foremost, you got to highlight the Garbage Pail Kids. The Garbage Pail Kids. Leroy, what is good? Salute, salute, salute. It's not a Boone team if you aren't scratching your head sometimes. Absolutely. Absolutely. But the Garbage Pail Kids this weekend, when it comes to Aaron Hicks and Joey Gallo, they have been fighting for their baseball life. Aaron Hicks, he had a few hits, RBI. Yes, he was sliding into second base where he got smacked in the face by the glove, but you know that happens. That's baseball, Susan, as they say. But Leroy, I appreciate you. What is up? Hope you had an awesome weekend. Hope you enjoyed this Yankee win this weekend, this sweep, 6 in a row. There's only 2 series that we lost for the entire season, so we got to feel good about ourselves. But the Garbage Pail Kids this weekend fighting for their baseball life. I brought up the Miguel Andujar situation, and honestly, if I'm the Yankees, I'm keeping Miguel Andujar, and I'm flipping and I'm flopping either Joey Gallo or Aaron Hicks. Now, I understand it. Joey Gallo on the season, he only has 9 RBIs. It is June 6th, and your corner outfielder only has 9 RBIs. His last home run, besides the one yesterday he hit, came May 15th. May 15th, so almost 30 days since his last home run. And I bring this up not to just, trash on him or not to downplay him. Yes, he had a home run, yesterday. He had a few hits, a couple of the other games before, but overall, it's just a bad look. And if you're Miguel Andujar, you really can't blame Miguel Andujar. Maybe you probably would have wished he went about it a better way, but overall, you really can't blame Miguel Andujar. Miguel Andujar has done everything this front office has asked him. Miguel Andujar has done everything that this team has asked him when it comes to working on his defense, when it comes to switching positions to left field, and when you see him now in left field, Miguel Andujar is a major league outfielder, right? Miguel Andujar, he could play that position. He's not going to win you a Gold Glove. No. He may not win you a Gold Glove. But when it comes to playing solid, above average defense, Miguel Andujar, that's what you're going to get. And he's been proving that ever since he's been up here. And for the Yankees to set him down, of course, he's going to have something to say. And of course, you see it. He's going to want to be traded. Right now, at the moment, it is a log jam in the outfield for the Yankees. The Yankees still have Ender Inciarte, who's in the minor leagues, who's hitting over 300. We still have Estevan Florial, who's in the minor league. Let's see. Gold Glove, a super overrated award. Midope, good morning. Yeah, some people could say that Gold Gloves is a bit overrated, and yeah, with the defense that Miguel Andujar has been playing, he shows you he's above average. He's able to make the play, running back towards the wall on the ball. He's a solid player, and he deserves to be in the majors. He's 27 years old, going on 28. He deserves it. He's a Midope coming in hot. Absolutely. Midope, the ropey. But yeah, Miguel Andujar, I'm not going to blame him. I brought it up. We have a log jam in the outfield with not only who we have on the major league roster, but in the minors. I brought up Ender Inciarte, Estevan Florial. We have Tim LeCastro, who's coming back from injury. So something's going to have to happen. The Yankees, they signed Matt Carpenter a week or so ago. They was impressed with Carpenter, so they decided to send Andujar down and keep Carpenter, which, if you ask me, I would have done it. He said Rizzo won that game yesterday by running the bases well. It's not all about hitting. Absolutely. And one thing that the Yankees have done better this year than they've done in the previous seasons is running the bases. This Yankee team, when it comes to running the bases, is a lot better than the previous teams that we've seen, especially Joe Girardi teams. Way better than that. He said, the Mariachino is there in the -2. We need. Yeah, we have a few guys that are in the minors that are MLB ready, but you have that depth and you have people ahead of them. Like I said, if you was to take a lot of these players and put them on the bottom teams in the major leagues, these players would be everyday contributors in the major leagues. Mariachino, if you put him on, let's say Cincinnati, he'll be somebody that they rely on almost every day. I like his arm. I like his stuff. I'm not gonna lie. He was a little bit shaky, but give him a chance, see what you can get. And that's what you have to do now, Mito Pan. And I know that's something that you could agree with. When you're playing 162 games and you have injuries here or there, and it's the next man up mentality, you're going to find lightning in the bottle, right? Hopefully we have it now with Clark Smith, who's looked a lot better recently. But I have faith in this front office. And when Brian Cashman is just in the background and he's just in the background, he's in the moves, he's making his move. Brian Cashman is going to be making a move soon. Whether it's next week, whether it's tomorrow, whether it's in 2 weeks, that's what we don't know. And one thing also, Jigga Man, the Mickey move was stupid, but expected. Absolutely expected. But one thing also, if you're a baseball fan and you watch this weekend, the play of Miguel Cabrera, the spirit of Miguel Cabrera is something that needs to be in every major league clubhouse. Miguel Cabrera is one of the best players to ever play this game. And for him to still have this kid attitude, this smile, this enjoyment when it comes to playing the game, it's something that we miss, honestly. I've been a big fan of Miguel Cabrera, even in 2003 when he broke our heart with the Florida Marlins. But Miguel Cabrera he's about to be 20 years next year that he's been in this game doing what he's doing. Over 3,000 hits. The home run numbers speak for themselves. But seeing Miguel Cabrera run the base path, seeing Miguel Cabrera hitting this weekend, it was an exciting view to watch. It was an awesome view to watch. It brought me back to being a child watching this game. And Miguel Cabrera, like I said before, the spirit that he has is something that every major league clubhouse needs to have, But let me not get too into that and get emotional. Another thing over the weekend, and I know I've said it, and Jigga Man had to call me out on it. He called me. I know I'm saying, and I've always said I love this jersey. We don't check the names on the back of it, but the way that Aaron Judge is playing, he's going to make me eat my words. Literally, 21 home runs on the season. He's on pace, they said, for 63, 64 home runs, which would be a Yankees all-time record. But Aaron Judge, back up that Brinks truck and pay this man. Aaron Judge deserves to be paid. Aaron Judge deserves to be paid the highest salary in baseball. If you look at his numbers, he has been playing like he's the best player in baseball. Die Hard Knicks podcast. What is good? Click that link in the bio and jump on over to YouTube, my guy. Appreciate you. Salute. But yeah, Aaron Judge has been playing. He's been playing like the best player in baseball. When it comes to runners in scoring position, that's the one position that that's the one spot that he's a bit iffy, but he's batting 290 with runners in scoring position. You can't hate on that. 3 home runs over I think it was 17 RBIs with runners in scoring position. So when the runners in the scoring position, he's getting them in. The average you would like to see it better, but hey, when you're batting 320 on the season and with runners in scoring positions, you're batting 280 to 290. That's an even trade. And Leroy brings it up. He's playing center field like the best player in baseball. Absolutely. Now, I've said it before. It's not something that we want for the 162 games for the entire season. But having Aaron Judge play a few days in center field and noticing that Aaron Judge is our best center field option. Aaron Hicks defensively is not the same. Offensively, Aaron Hicks is nowhere near where he used to be. And our best option is in center field. Now, over the weekend, there was a few little scary moments with Aaron Judge and Aaron Hicks playing around with each other when it comes to like trying to chase the ball in the outfield. It's a few scary moments. Aaron Hicks, just let Aaron Judge get the ball. Stop it. I don't need you trying to run behind them. God forbid Aaron Judge doesn't hear you one day, sees you at the last minute, tries to pull up, hyperextends his knee, whatever. Knock on wood, knock on everything I can. Here we go. But Aaron Hicks, I'm going to need you to stop it. Aaron Judge is our center fielder, and we all know the center fielder is the general when it comes to the outfield. So fall back and let my man Judge get the balls. Relax, calm down. I don't want no injuries to happen. When it comes to the divisions and the standings, it all stays the same. The Yankees are at 39 wins. They're the first major league team to 39 wins. Salute. Shout out to the Yankees for that. But before I get into the standings, I got a little special treat. You guys seen last week on Friday, my guy BX Bomber was in the chat. You know, my guy BX Bomber, he's damn near at every Yankee game. He's at every Yankee game with the live reports. And he sent me something live from over there. So y'all check it out real quick. I'll be right back.
All right, Yankee Universe. You hear the crowd going, and wake up everybody. This is your Yankee Morning Brew, live with the BX Bomber reporting from Yankee Stadium. And today is Aaron Judge bobblehead night. We got the bobblehead here. It was a hell of a way to get in here. We got online at 5:15, 5:10, and we didn't get into Yankee Stadium until 6 o'clock. But we got the bobblehead. So stay tuned to the Yankee Morning Brew and get your Yankee news. Until then, I'll see you at the next game.
Shout out my guy BX Mama for that. That was an awesome view. My man he be in the high sections. One of these days I'm gonna have to join the game with him, because watching along with him on IG is one of the greatest things about being able to watch a Yankee game. And I'm super jealous. Yeah, Jigga Man just said it. Bobblehead jealousy. Absolutely. And also too, like, just the energy and the welcomeness that we've gotten from when we first started the Yankees Morning Brew, just the welcomeness, just the support that we've gotten from everybody, other Yankee content creators, just it's all appreciated. Thank you guys so much. It means the world. So for BX Bomber to reach out and say, hey, I'll send this to you as much as I can, whatever I'm at the game, and you can play it on the show, I appreciate it. So BX Bomber, my guy, I appreciate you. Everybody, if you're watching, go on YouTube, BX Bomber. My guy's always at the game giving a live report. So again, salute to you, my guy. In one of these games, I'm gonna be up there in the concourse with you, bro. I swear to God, guaranteed. But yeah, let's get into this game. Let's look at some of these lineups. Start off with the Yankees, right? The winning team. Why not? Our favorites. Go. Well, the Tigers. Now, when you look at the Tigers lineup, right? The Tigers are a team right now they're fourth in their division. They're in the middle of a rebuild, retooling. But you got Castro leading it off, who was 1 for 5, the left fielder. The rookie, I think he was the first overall pick in the draft, Spencer Torkelson, who has turned himself into a solid first baseman. His natural position is third base, but he's turned himself into a solid first baseman. He was 0 for 5. Jonathan Scope, if you guys remember, that's a former Baltimore Oriole. Jonathan Scope was 0 for 4. Miguel Cabrera, 3 for 3. Shout out to Miguel Cabrera, the ageless wonder. Then you got Javi Baez, was 2 for 4. Javi Baez turned it. Oh, my man. What is good, Die Hard Knicks podcast? Salute, bro. Salute. Everybody out there, you guys know I'm a Die Hard Knicks fans, right? Die Hard, right? Just like the name of the podcast. But one of the first guys that ever welcomed me as a content creator was the Die Hard Knicks podcast, right? Die Hard Knicks podcast is a dope Nick content creator. He works with MBK, with Sims and them, with my guy, State of the New York podcast. Follow my guy Die Hard Knicks if you are a Knicks fan. He's awesome insight. Him and State of New York Knicks. Him and State, they have an awesome chemistry together, an awesome repertoire. Die Hard, thank you for finding me, my guy. Appreciate you for coming through. But like I was saying, now with the Tigers, the lineup is what it is. Still got something to get. Yeah, absolutely. We still gonna have to. Don't worry. We got a lot of time coming up. You know, last year was a horrible season. Hopefully, this year will bring us many more good blessings, and we'll get something together. Die Hard. But Eru, I appreciate you, bro, 100% all the time. Eru also is an MTA worker. I'm somebody that I used to be a first responder. So anytime I could give a second to shout out any service members, Eru. Thank you so much again for all your contributions during these hard times. But Javi Baez, that big contract he signed, hasn't really lived up to it. But 2 for 4 yesterday. It's looking like he's getting out of it. Hopefully for the Tigers, he does get out of it or he figures it out. But hey, it is what it is. Then they got the third baseman, who was a former Yankee minor league prospect, Jose Candelario. He was 0 for 1. He was pinch hit later on in the game. I think he caught a shoulder injury. I'm not too sure. But then the outfield, you got Cameron in right field, was 2 for 4. The catcher, House, was 0 for 3. And then you have the center fielder, D. Hale, who was 0 for 4. Now, when it comes to the Tigers pitching, if you guys haven't seen John Boy from Friday's game, check out John Boy. He broke down the Tigers rookie pitcher who he looked solid. But it was just the tipping of the pitches, you know, not keeping your head straight, letting hitters know what's going to come, whether it's a fastball or off-speed pitch. And I'm not sure if it's something that he recognized, but if you guys have a second, go on YouTube, check out John Boy from this past Friday when he breaks down the Detroit Tigers and Yankees and how the Yankee hitters was able to figure out the tipping aspect from the Tigers pitching. But Garcia, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. The Bombers were taking BP. Absolutely, that's what it looked like. It looked like a softball game, a slow pitch softball game. Carpenter figured it out. Yeah, Carpenter figured him out. And Carpenter's swing is tailor-made for Yankee Stadium. I've never seen anyone, since I've been a Yankee fan, whose swing is perfectly made for Yankee Stadium. Right down the line, pull it right down the line, and it literally just stood fair. But Carpenter did take him yard, and he figured them out. But on to the bullpen, you got Lang, who pitched the inning in 2/3, 2 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, and 1 strikeout. Michael Fulmer, an inning and a third. The former Met, if you guys remember, Michael Fulmer was a big piece in the Mets getting Yoenis Cespedes. But Fulmer pitched the inning and a third, no hits, 1 run, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. And then you got Soto, the closer, who personally is becoming one of my favorites. He pitched the inning and a third, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, and a couple strikeouts. Soto, if you guys remember, the last Sunday that we had in the month of May, if you guys know, if you guys are from the Caribbean, if you guys are Dominican, you guys know that the last Sunday of the month is Dominican's Mother's Day. And last week Sunday, when it was that, Soto did wear his pink socks in dedication of Mother's Day for his moms. So whenever I see something like that, that always touches my heart. Being Puerto Rican, anybody, you know, when you connect culturally, something that always touches me dear. But now let's check out the Yankees and how the Yankees did. Boom, boom, boom. Now with this Yankees lineup, didn't look super different, you know, but with DJ LeMahieu batting off, playing third base, he was 0 for 3. Aaron Judge, the center fielder, he was 1 for 5. Anthony Rizzo was 1 for 4. You got Giancarlo Stanton, who had the day off, but he came in later on in the game to pinch hit. But Gleyber Torres was 1 for 4, and can we say Gleyber Torres is back? Gleyber Torres and Anthony Rizzo, just like Leroy pointed out, Anthony Rizzo ran the bases beautifully in order to get from first to third. It was wonder. He tried to steal second. The ball got away. He was able to hustle into third. Anthony Rizzo, he doesn't have the best speed out there, but it looks like he runs the bases pretty well for somebody out there that has the wheels that he have. He said IKF is going to be hitting 300 if he keeps it up. Yeah. IKF, we know what IKF, when you look at IKF stats from last year, and I pointed it out before on previous shows, but IKF last year had 170 or 175 hits. If he was on the Yankees last year, he would have led the Yankees in hitting. Just keep that in mind. But hopefully IKF can get to 300. I personally would keep IKF in the bottom half of the lineup. I know a lot of fans want to see him batting leadoff, but I think IKF is not a leadoff hitter. IKF doesn't draw pitches. He doesn't work the count. He doesn't try to get on besides hitting. His walk rate is low, so I would keep IKF where he's at. But Jose Trevino, our amigo, hitting over 280. He was 0 for 2 yesterday, though. Joey Gallo was 1 for 3, but that one being a big home run, a 2-run bomb that put the Yankees on the board, tied up the game, gave Jordan Montgomery some breathing space to understand, okay, let me go out there and just pitch, and my offense will help me out. But Jordan Montgomery, he didn't get the win because the Yankees, for some reason, is allergic to scoring runs whenever Jordan Montgomery is on the mound. But yesterday, Jordan Montgomery pitched 6 1/3, 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, and 5 Ks. Later on, after I finished going through this lineup breakdown, I'll touch more on the pitching staff and look bigger into the numbers. But Clark Smith, the aforementioned Clark Smith, like I said, he pitched the inning, 1 hit, 1 run, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Like I said, he looked a lot sharper than his previous outings. He did give up a hit and a run and a walk, but he did look a lot sharper than before. Then you had Castro, who came in, who just looked miserable out there. But Castro pitched 2/3 of an inning, 2 hits, 1 run, no walks, and a strikeout. And then you have the ageless one, Wandy Peralta. Wandy Peralta pitched the inning, no hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. And Michael King, who's shaping himself back into what he was at the beginning of the year before he went on that little dry spell. But Michael King, he pitched the inning, no hits, no runs, no walks, and 3 strikeouts. Michael King was dominant in that top of the 10th. Mind you, and remember, it was the top of the 10th. They had a runner on second base, and he struck out the side 1, 2, 3, put him down. But like I said, when we look into this pitching staff, when it comes to the Yankees, right? Just give me a second real quick. This Yankees pitching staff, as Tom Verducci says, it's one of the best pitching staffs in all of baseball, if not in baseball, right? When you look at the numbers, especially when it comes to cutters like Mac Blake and this team, I'm not sure how to put it, but just the way they look at pitching is 100% different. Garrett Cole is 4-1 with a 3.12 ERA. Luis Severino is 3-1 with a 3.38 ERA. Monty was 1-1 with a 3.04 ERA. Nestor Cortez is 5-1 with a 1.50 ERA. And Jamison Tyone, he's 6-1 with a 2.30 ERA. So when you got Nasty Nestor, when you got Jamison Tyone having better ERAs and better wins than your $300 million ace, Garrett Cole, that goes to show you this rotation is top in baseball. This rotation is the best, in my opinion. But it all comes down to philosophy, to pitching philosophy, right? So let's look bigger into it. Over the past 4 years, one thing that the Yankees pitchers haven't done well was throwing that cutter, using that cutter in their repertoire. The Yankees signed Matt Blake, And since they signed Matt Blake, 2020, the Yankees starting pitchers, the cutter usage was 2.1%, right? That was 27th in all of baseball, almost last place. Last year in 2021, Yankees starting pitching used that cutter 8.7% of the time, 6th in all of Major League Baseball. This year, the Yankees starting pitchers are using that cutter 12.2% of the time, 5th in all of Major League Baseball. And when you watch, right, when you watch Garrett Cole and Nestor Cortez and Severino and Jameson Taillon, basically everyone, how they're using that cutter is a big difference. Last year, Garrett Cole didn't throw that cutter not once at all. This year, he uses that cutter 14.4% of the time. Last year, Jameson Taillon used that cutter 3.7% of the time. And this year, he's using it 13%. Severino was never really known for a cutter, but he had it last year when he came back from injury. He used it 2% of the time last year, and now he's jumped up to 10% of the time. We all know nasty Nestor Cortez used that cutter a lot, but last year, he used that cutter 23.6% of the time. And this year in 2022, Nestor Cortez is using that cutter 39.5% of the time, damn near 40%. Now, the only one that had a reverse split on it was Jordan Montgomery. Jordan Montgomery last year threw that cutter 13.8% of the time, and now it's down to 4.7%. But in his last start that he had yesterday, he used that cutter 23% of the time. His previous starts, he wasn't using that cutter that much. Don't know why, but yesterday you saw it, especially in the last start with Jameson Taillon. When you see his cutter runs in, and he has a fastball that runs away. So that's the perfect combo, Jameson Taillon, because the hitter doesn't know if it's going to come in on them or if it's going to go away on them, right? Now, when it looks at batting average, check this out. Batting average against the cutter, right? The New York Mets are third, the Mets and the Yankees are tied for second place with a 198 batting average against their cutter. So the opponent is only hitting that not even 200 against the cutter. It's been a tool that Matt Blake has gotten these pitchers to use, and they're using it to their advantage. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this Yankee team. Hold on, I'm trying to find the standings right now. Because the standings haven't changed. Like I said, the Yankees are first at 39 wins. The Yankees are 39-15 at the moment. They have a comfortable 7.5 game lead on Toronto, an 8-game lead on Tampa Bay. So right now, we're sitting pretty healthy. Is it a lead that we could just sleep on? No. Is it something that could disappear within 2 weeks of the Yankees going cold? Absolutely. But for right now, we got 7.5 games up on Toronto, 8 games up on Tampa Bay, and 12 games up on Boston. And Boston, I'm not sure. Sometimes Boston is trajecting like this, and then sometimes they're like that. But right now, they're 27-27, trying to figure out what they want to do with the rest of their season. Minnesota, who we're going to be seeing soon, we have a game off today. We're flying into Minnesota, so we'll be in Minnesota tomorrow. We'll be able to see Gary Sanchez and Gio Urshela for the first time this year. But Minnesota's 32-24. And then after that is a total fall off. You got the Cleveland Guardians, who are 24-25. The Chicago White Sox, they can't get their act together. They're 25-27. And the aforementioned Detroit Tigers, who we just played, they're 21-33. I'm so sorry, Coach Richie, but I got to say this. Let's go Tigers. They're 21-33. The Kansas City Royals, 17-35. They're not having the year that everybody thought they were going to have. Some people picked the Kansas City Royals to be a dark horse candidate for the wild card this year. Doesn't seem like that's going to be a case. But over to the West, you got the Houston Astros, who are 35-19. The Angels, they're still losing. They're 27-28, under 500 now. And then you got the Texas Rangers, who are 25-28. The Seattle Mariners has fallen off, 24-30, and the Oakland A's are 20-36. But now over to the senior circuit, the National League, the New York Mets have the second best record in baseball. Let me say that now. The New York Mets have the second best record in all of Major League Baseball. Now, the last time that both the Mets and the New York Yankees were in first place in the month of June was 2006. I'm going to say that again. The last time both the Mets and the Yankees were in first place in June was back in 2006. I was a junior in high school, a snot-nosed junior in high school that probably only had a little peach fuzz on the top of his lip. It's been a long time coming, and I've said this before. Whenever you have the Yankees and the Mets being top dogs, that just makes competition and bragging rights just so much better. Look at those wild card standings. I'll pull up the wild card standings right now, because with that third wild team, that wild card standings is going to be crazy. But this is what we want to see. This is what both Met fans and Yankee fans have been dying to see. And honestly, it's best for baseball. When you have the two teams in New York being 1 and 2, battling out for bragging rights, battling out every day on who team is better, it doesn't get better than this. But the Mets division is very weak. 28-27, the Atlanta Braves are. The Philadelphia Phillies, who they're going through whatever they're going through. Joe Girardi was let go. And let me know, you Yankee fans in the chat, you degenerates who haven't gotten your coffee, who hasn't waken up. Let me throw this out there. Let me just get your tone on it. If a situation was to come up that the Philadelphia Phillies decide they want to break away and trade Bryce Harper. I know we've been talking about Juan Soto for the past couple of weeks, ever since that was a hot number, a hot take, a hot talking point. But if the Philadelphia Phillies, they're going through what they're going through right now, would you take Bryce Harper? Will you be comfortable in giving up prospects for Bryce Harper? Now, with the situation with the Phillies, I don't think Bryce Harper is going to cost that much when it comes to prospects, because one, the Phillies are rebuilding right now, right? He has a huge contract that's owed to him. Yes, he won the MVP last year. Yes, he's an all-star caliber player. But when you're at a team that's in the position that you're in right now, you need to just get whatever assets you could get. Are there a lot of teams out there that can eat his contract? Not sure. I'm looking at the standings right now. I would say the Dodgers, maybe. San Francisco Giants, maybe. The Angels, maybe. The New York Mets, but I don't think the Phillies will be trading with the New York Mets. So there's 3 to 4 teams possibly that could afford his talents. Let's see. Leroy always be on point. Leroy says Harper has a clause. He can force a trade for cheap. Bingo. So is that a situation that happens? Bryce Harper forces his way to New York? Because we all know Bryce Harper have always wanted to be a Yankee. We all know that. You know, the Yankees, they back in the days, they were bidding for Manny Machado and Bryce Harper. We all thought both Manny Machado and Bryce Harper were going to be a Yankee before we got our young influx of youngins that we got and we went another way. But is a Bryce Harper move something that's on the table for the Yankees? I'm not sure. It's a bit early. See, $23 million a year isn't much for the Evo. Absolutely, Evo. Absolutely. It really is not much, especially when you look at Giancarlo Stanton's contract, especially when you look at Garrett Cole's contract. The money that Bryce Harper is making compared to Garrett Cole and what Aaron Judge is going to be making is going to be a bargain deal. So if I'm the Yankees, I will entertain that like that. When you look at the type of player Bryce Harper is, he's what we need. He's a left-handed bat inside a Yankee Stadium. And he can even play center field. That's the thing. Both Judge and Bryce Harper can spell each other in center field. Put Bryce Harper in left field, Judge in center or right field, however you want to put it. But that should be a conversation that the Yankee front office should be entertaining. And like Leroy brought it up, Bryce Harper has a clause in his contract where he could force a trade for cheap. Yesterday, if you guys didn't see the highlights from yesterday, bottom of the eighth, down by 4 runs, Bryce Harper hit a grand slam. And this is with Bryce Harper nursing an elbow injury. This is with him nursing an elbow injury. So I'll get back to the standings, but I just wanted to throw that out there to see what your temperature was on that. But I think that's a conversation the Yankees should have. And just like Evu said, $23 million a year, this isn't much for the evil empire. No, sir. But back to the standings. And the NL Central, you got the Milwaukee Brewers, who are 33-23. The St. Louis Cardinals, who are 32-23. And if you guys see, for some reason, the St. Louis Cardinals, every year, they just seem to figure it out. You got Wainwright, Adam Wainwright over there, who's found the fountain of youth at 40 years old. You got Albert Pujols over there, who's looking like a better version of Albert Pujols than he was with the Angels. You got Yadi Molina at 39 years old. So the St. Louis Cardinals, they got something special cooking over there. Yes, they have Nolan Arenado, the third baseman, but the old folks who's a part of that club, you can tell that they're very influential. You can tell they have the pulse on of the clubhouse, as they say. The Pittsburgh Pirates have been winning recently. They're 24-28. So that's a shocker. But over to the NL West, one of the divisions who look like it's going to be these 3 teams and these three teams only. But you got the Dodgers, who are 35-19. The Padres, who are right behind them at 33-21. And the San Francisco Giants at 29-24. So when you look at the NL West race, it's going to be interesting. But Leroy brought something up. He said, look up that wild card race. So I'm going to look up the wild card race. And this is the funny thing. In the American League, the wild card race, Toronto, Tampa, and Boston. How do you have the 3 teams from the same division, 1, 2, and 3 in the wild card race? Now, does that go to show you how tough our division is? Because a lot of people said, oh, your division's weak. The Yankees have their record because they played their division, and it's a weak division, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. But you got the Toronto Blue Jays, the Tampa Bay Rays, and the Boston Red Sox, 1, 2, and 3 for the wild card. Then you have the Angels, the Cleveland Guardians, and the Chicago White Sox. So you have 6 teams vying for those wild card spots. It's not that much when it comes to space and games that separate them. Let's see, Toronto is first place with a 4.5 game lead. Tampa Bay is 4.5. Then you got Boston in third place. Then the Angels are a half game behind Boston. Cleveland is a half game behind Boston as well. The White Sox are a game behind Boston. If you want to even extend it, the Texas Rangers are a game and a half. Then the Seattle Mariners are 3 games back. So it's not that much that separates these teams. Then there's a drop-off. Baltimore's 5 games, Detroit 6, Oakland 8, Kansas City 9. But when it comes to this wild card race, it's going to be very interesting, especially in the American League. Over to the National League, the wild card race, the San Diego Padres are first. The St. Louis Cardinals are second, and the San Francisco Giants are third. But then you have the Atlanta Braves, who are right there. Arizona's right there. And even the Philadelphia Phillies are right there. So it all depends. Baseball is a very tricky thing. It's 162 games for a reason. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Because right now, Philadelphia is 6th place when it comes to that wild card standing. But Philadelphia could catch on fire, and in 3 weeks, they'll be in 3rd place. You never know. That's just how baseball works out. You know, you could have a team that have the best players in the game on your team. That's not going to guarantee you a championship. It never works out like that. Trust me, the Yankees know that from experience. The Yankees know that. He said July is going to be hot in MLB wildcard race. Absolutely. Especially when they move the trading deadline an extra week. So it gives teams the opportunity to be involved, to not sell off and trying to tank. We know in baseball, tanking has been not just baseball, but just in professional sports in general, tanking has been a major issue in all of sports, especially in basketball. But in baseball, tanking is something that they're trying to curb and get away. I'm not sure how they're going to do it. One thing that they should do, which I don't know why they haven't done it, there needs to be a draft lottery, just like in basketball and just like in baseball, just like in basketball and football. I mean, that's the only way you're going to nip this in the butt. Because when you have the luxury tax, right? One thing that people don't understand when it comes to baseball, the big difference between baseball and the other sports is a salary cap, right? But one thing that baseball has is the luxury tax. That's a progressive luxury tax that have different tiers on it, right? It's a collective bargaining. Everybody shares the money when it comes to the luxury tax and whatever, yada, 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 yada. One thing that's an issue with baseball, the Pittsburgh Pirates, their payroll on the season is not even more than $30 million, right? The shares that they get from the luxury tax pool was $47 million. So the Pittsburgh Pirates organization, every other team in baseball is paying for their payroll because of the luxury tax. That's an issue that baseball has to figure out. It is the same thing with Cincinnati. It is the same thing with Kansas City. It is the same thing with Oakland. It's not as bad as Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh, literally every other major league team is paying for that team's salary and for that team to be as trash as they are. One thing the Pittsburgh Pirates need to do is you need to bring up O'Neal Cruz. I'm tired of not seeing O'Neal Cruz in the majors. You need to bring O'Neal Cruz up to the majors literally tomorrow, if not today. But guys, it's getting to that time. It's 11:48. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Like I said, the Yankees are off today. We will be back tomorrow in Minnesota. I will have no morning brew in the morning because there's no game. But going for the Yankees right now in tomorrow's game, Jameson Taillon. Minnesota doesn't have it figured out yet. Our guy Aaron Judge is leading us with 21 home runs. We are feeling nice right now at 39-15. But for everybody who tuned in, my guy Eru, like I said, I appreciate you, Die Hard. And everybody who's in the chat, please, if you guys can go and support Die Hard Knicks podcast, I appreciate you 100% for that. My guy Leroy, what is good? He said the Knicks have been tanking since 2000. Listen, Leroy, don't make me find you, my guy. All right, don't make me hunt you down, okay? Because we stop with the Knicks slander. All right, baby. But guys, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you tell a friend. We're gonna have to set this up one of these days. We're gonna have to have a little collab. But yeah, subscribe, tell a friend. We're sitting at 443 subscribers. We are on our march to 500 and beyond. Help us out. This has been another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew. And like always, you degenerates, wake up and smell your coffee. Peace.